Damn it!
I mean, yeah, I know in Oblivion, you know, I know people might have problems with, why aren't you using guns? Why are you using melee? Well, you know, honestly, I like, you know, using melee weapons. I know some people will start complaining that it's like Oblivion, which, you know what, I really don't care if it is or not. So, I mean, it was made by the same people, so of course it's going to be like it, but it's not Oblivion with guns. I mean, I played the first two Fallouts. I mean, I loved some things they changed, and I didn't. I'm by no means a fanboy. Whenever I heard they were making it, I was excited. And you'll see, I'll put in my saves and everything too, anyway, but back to Fallout, I mean, I did not jump on a board and just start ranting about how they're going to screw it up or something. So, I mean, I may not be a fanboy, and to those of you who are, congrats. But
Damn it!
Another thing about VATS is you're basically invulnerable when you are using it. So if you're going up against a tough enemy and have no stim packs, go into VATS and use it, and you might get lucky and kill them.
Time.
Tear you apart. Yeah, tear them apart.
Now, Springvale is, like I said, is the first dungeon or area.
Oh! It's go. Die.
Sorry. It's the first area that most people go through.
Please, I'm sorry.
And you can actually get some decent start out stuff from here. It introduces you to various mechanics and stuff. Now for some actually helpful hints and less of me blabbing. What you can do in the very beginning, you can tag 3 skills whenever you first come out of the vault. Now what tagging does, I believe it adds 10 to 15 points to those skills. Basically raising them. Now, there's a lot of theories on what you should do. Personally, the way I feel is one of them has to be repair. Why? Because caps, Nuka-Cola caps, are the currency in this game, and they are basically, you need them for almost everything. And to have NPCs repair your weapons and armor and everything else, it kinda sorta costs caps, and they are not cheap. So repair needs to be one. The other two can actually be anything you want. Now it's advisable to select a combat skill and a secondary combat skill. And you may have seen those blueprints in my inventory, and those are just basically from a mod. Yes, this is a modded game, as I already said earlier about the nudity thing.
Shit, you're crazy.
All it does is enhance gameplay. It does not change any mechanics or anything. All it does is just adds, you know, basically a player-created village. So now you also notice I'm not picking up any electronic stuff like sensors or conductors, and I'm not even looking in the toolboxes, in most of them anyway. That's because they're heavy, they'll be here when I get back, and I'm only really interested in the drugs. The drugs are weightless and they sell for a lot. I don't take drugs because you can form an addiction, it's just not worth it to me. But, anyway, back to the skills. One skill probably needs to be a combat skill. One that, you know, small guns is excellent. Later on in the game, and I'm going back to heal here, by the way. Later on in the game, small guns will not be as useful. Now, I say that meaning by the end of the game, you will have laser weapons and big guns available. So, basically, you know, small guns, if you get it, you'll have an easier time early on because they are plentiful. Now, the second, or I should say, basically the last skill you need to tag is, I'd call it a support skill. If you do like unarmed or melee weapons, I'd go with medicine. Why? Because medicine increases the health you get from med packs, and med packs are like gold. Also, you know, small guns, maybe sneak. Because the critical multipliers are pretty devastating. And you may think, oh well, critical multipliers, you know, for sneak isn't that great. You can actually one-hit a death claw if you are sneaking close to him with the combat shotgun and you're close enough. You can actually one-hit one. I'd say that's pretty damn devastating. Now these ants, I basically use a tactic, you know, a lot of people used in Oblivion. Run forward, make them attack, walk backwards, and while they're open, start swinging. It's cheap, yes, but extremely effective. And also I make good use of bats. On ants and most other insects, you can actually damage their antennas and make them go berserk. When they go berserk, they will actually attack anything around them, including their allies. And we're nearing the dungeon, or I'm going to call them dungeons just because, basically, even at the end of the dungeon, I still have stuff to talk about, so prepare yourself. In all of this, the video is just basically improv. Because, like I said, I started out doing a different thing, and then in the midway, I decided, you know what, screw it. I'm going to do it my way. But when you first start out, you may have a police baton, or you may have a baseball bat. Keep the baseball bat, even though you can't do much in bats, but it does good damage. The police baton is almost like the combat knife, but you can only do 3 attacks, not 4. So, but it's also faster than the baseball bat, because whenever you block, and you know, when they hit your block and they kind of go back, you can only get 1 swing off with the baseball bat. With the police baton, you can get 2 max. But I mean, entirely up to you. As for your character design, your specials, or special stats, strength is somewhat important, and I'll go ahead and go on a different tangent right here. There's stuff playing here, an assault shotgun, 2 clips of ammo, and a stim pack and a jet thing. There's also a book. Now, the reason why I didn't move the body and pick up the book is because as soon as you start touching that stuff, 6 ants come. But, I mean, they're easy to handle. I just didn't want to get mobbed in a space where I couldn't move. If you run back here, you can at least go backwards. Now, back to special stats. Strength, if you're a melee character, is going to be important. Perception in this game, unlike all the others, all it does is increase the range that you see things on your compass. You know, the little red marks for enemies and, you know, points of interest. So, in the other games, it determined your chance to hit with, you know, weapons, guns. So, let's see, endurance. Endurance is an important stat. It is a very important step because